I know this is like a weird position, but y'all, today, okay, so the other day I was listening to Joel Osteen. Y'all know I listen to him every time I wake up, every morning. Like, that's how I start my mornings. Like, you know, I have to start my mornings with Joel. So, anyways, yesterday, or the other day, he was talking about how the story of Elijah, and when Elijah was surrounded by, you know, the in this camp, and then the camp thought they were surrounding the people. I don't really know too much, y'all, but I'm learning. But it was, the truth was, God was the one that was surrounding the people that were surrounding Elijah and them, or whatever. So I had to go back and I had to watch it again today, because I was like, it was so good, and it kind of reminded me like of the things that we're going through and stuff. And sorry, I have to come on here. And I don't know, like, I feel like when you really, really learn God's protection over you, like, you're really not worried about too much that can go on. That doesn't even, oh my God, that doesn't work. When you know what kind of protection you have, like, you're not worried about anything that can come, you know, to you or anything, because you know God's going to protect you. You know this, like, you know God. And even if it does happen, even if something does happen to you, you know that, you know, nothing is a surprise to God, and you know that God's going to get you out of anything. You know what I mean? So anyways, gotta make some room. But that's basically what I wanted to say. Like, honestly, like, to me, it's like, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all, okay? I'm just gonna draw it out here. I have my stuff everywhere. And I'm having my tea. I got it put on this warmer, y'all, and I let it sit too long. I ain't gonna lie, I let it sit too long on the warmer, and it burnt it. And then I felt like God was like, you need to hurry up and wash that before it really gets stuck on there. And I hurried up and washed it, and thankfully it came off. But yeah, this cup is from Walmart on clearance, and I think they had a few more left. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm having my tea. I just woke up. It's already going to be like 3 in the afternoon, but I have to work tonight. So I'm having my tea and just going to chill here until I have to go to work. But, okay, let me show y'all. So this little bitty dot right there, that's us. That's you. Judy, turn it down. Hurry, turn it down. Okay. Or go in your room and put it on, close the door.
What? What?
I'm recording something.
Oh.
Or close my door.
Okay.
So this little dot is us. Or you. Okay? And then we're going to use red for the enemy. We're going to use red for the enemy, right? Enemies. We're going to use red for the enemies. It can be a lot of them, yeah. The red dot. See, that's the enemy, y'all. And the enemies. That's what can come and get you, like, if you're not right with God, or if you're not trying to be right with God. And none of us are perfect. God knows I'm far from perfect. If you know me, you know I'm far from perfect. But I try every day. I try to wake up every day and be right with God. And even if I don't, God still be like, God be correcting me. Okay, so once again, us, green dot, red, enemy. Right? Right. And then we're going to use blue for God. We're going to use blue for God. God and his people and his angels and everything else, okay? And this is what the blue is, what is really surrounding us, right? So it's like, okay, I don't even know how to explain this, but God help me, because I don't know how to explain it. It's like, whenever you think that, like, things are gonna come against you, like, whenever you think that, you know, that we are in this, right now in this time where all this sickness is coming to us, but it's like, this sickness is around us, but it's like, our God is bigger than that sickness. Our God is not going to allow anything to harm us, especially his people that are going out and trying to tell people about God and trying to like, you know, obey God. And even if it does come to his people, God's people, honestly, God's people know that God's got them. Like, God's people knows that they are protected, and no matter what, that God's going to get them through this. You know what I'm saying? And even if the worst of the worst to happen to God's people, we know where we're going. We know where we're going, so we're not afraid of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then it's like, that's us right now. Like, right, if we're living in the world and we're living in, you know, this and that. But let me show you a different one. So that's the first one. So then there's a different perspective. God's people. This is God's people, y'all. So this little green dot, we're just gonna label this number 1 and number 2. So number 2. That's number 2, y'all. We're talking about number 2 now. Number 2 is God's people. People who are trying to be right, people who are trying to be right with God. They're trying to, like, live their right with God. They are living right with God, and, you know, this and that, right? The blue, remember, the blue is for God's people and God's angels. The blue is for God and God's angels. See that blue? It's different from this one. Okay. Then here comes the enemy trying to attack God's people, but he can't touch them because God is protecting us. Like, God has his people protected. Like, this is why we can't be touched. The ones that are God's people. Like, you know, I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I'm God's people. Like, this is why the enemy cannot touch me. Anything that tries to come against me, God knocks it down. Like, honestly, God protects me, and this is why I'm so for God, because I've seen the things that he's taken me out of, and he's protected me from happening to me. Like, this is why I know, like, I have something special with God. The red is the enemy, y'all. Now you tell me which one you trying to be, number 1 or number 2. Either way, God's got us, you know. But number 2, honestly, the enemy. See how the enemy tries to get to the green, but he can't because we're God's people. So the blue, God's protection keeps us. But if you're not right with God, and you know, and I'm not trying to judge anybody, you know what I'm saying. But if you're not right with God, God's still gonna protect you, y'all. That's how much God loves y'all. Like, for real, that's how much God loves y'all. It's even though you're not right with him, like, he's still gonna protect, but he's waiting on you to call out to him. Like, he's waiting for you to be like, hey, like, God, I need you. Like, what do you need me to do? Like, you know, honestly, whenever I get to heaven, y'all, I want God to be like, Erica, when I put you there on earth, did you do what I asked you to do? And honestly, y'all, like, I don't want to start crying, but I want to be like, I tried to, like, I want to be, this is what my answer, I want to be like, I tried to, God, like, I tried to be right with you, and even though I did mess up, like, I know to come back to you. And God, like, if God asked me, Erica, I assigned certain people to you, did you try to make those people, you know, come see me? And I'm gonna be like, yes, I did. I did. Like, I think I did. Like, I want my answers to be, when God judges, when that day comes, y'all, and I want to be like, have my answers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want God to be like, Erica, you know, this and that, and okay, Erica, I want God to be like, Erica, yes you did. Like, I don't want God to be like, I sent you down there, but you didn't do nothing. You didn't tell my people about me. You didn't try to be right with me. I ain't trying to get in trouble like that. Like, when you know God and you know God's power, like, you don't be trying to mess around with that. Like, honestly, you really don't. And so, even though, like, I'm not perfect, I try to be, y'all. I don't try to be perfect, because I know there's nobody perfect, but I try to be right with God, and I do mess up, you know. But once again, when I get to heaven, I want God to be like, Erica, did you do what I asked you to do? Did you go, the people that I assigned to you, Erica, did you go and you tell them about me? Did you do this? Did you do this? And y'all, I want my answers to be yes. I want my answers to be yes, and I ask God right now, God, show me if I'm messing up. Like, show me, like, I understand, you know, but God, I be trying to, you know. But anyways, that's just what I wanted to show y'all. And, so, I'm going to make I went to church this past weekend, and I'm going to make a video about that. So, if y'all want to watch that. Actually, I don't know when I'm going to put that video up, because it has some things in it I'm not ready to share with y'all yet. Y'all have a blessed day, okay?